Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Don't break the rules. Now, this is normally one of the last things you would hear come out of my mouth because I'm not a real follower. I'm not a real believer in there's got to be, like, you got to do something a certain way. Like, rules can feel really rigid, right? Rules can feel really stifling and confining and, like, where's the room for flexibility, right? Like, how can there be, like, it's always this way, always, always, always? And so I'd like you to think of it instead of rules, but structure. The way that you do things, right? Structure, routine. So let me play out something that happened this morning. So Thursday morning, as I record this podcast, getting my oldest son, I take my oldest son to school now. We actually drive to school. We used to be able to walk, but we actually live far away from, not within walking distance, but a 10-minute, 11-minute, 12-minute drive, depending on traffic, to get to school for Tyson. And then my husband takes our youngest son, Kai, to daycare, which is actually close to where he now has office space. And so he drops him off on the way to getting to his office to start his day and to start his work. And so with Tyson, we have now gone through a program called the Davis Method, just last week from when I record this podcast in Calgary. And Tyson is dyslexic, and so that means a lot of different things, but it means some amazing stuff that comes along with dyslexia. And learning some tools that we did last week to really help him with his reading, to essentially help the way that his brain sees the world. And so with that routine and structure, which is important for everybody, right? Like, there's just calmness and safety and knowing and less stress that happens inside of structure or rules. And again, it's not like they can't be, changed, switched, course corrected at times when necessary. But for the most part, that structure and routine, like, it needs to be there, right? And if you don't, by the way, live your life that way, I know that this conversation can be like, but again, like, I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Cool. But I'm telling you, just be open to this conversation because there's actually freedom in structure. There's freedom with rules. There's freedom with routine. There's freedom in it. The story of it being confining is a nice story, but there's actually incredible freedom inside this. So what happened this morning is I'm up early doing my more 4, and then either I take my dogs for a walk or my boys are up. And so my husband's up at that time. I take the dogs for a walk. I come back, quick shower. I come down. Tyson and I do something with this. You could probably know what those Couge balls are. Those kind of little spiky, rubbery things that are on them. And we do some ball work with that. That's something that's helping to, really helping his nerve system to fire properly. And so he starts his day with feeling more centered and grounded. It sounds like kind of silly, but just some incredible research doing this Couge ball work. So we do Couge ball. It takes all of, 3-4 minutes to do. Usually we're doing it like at 8 o'clock. He has his breakfast, and we're out the door by 8:20, 8:25. He starts school at 8:45. The bell goes off. So it gives us plenty of time, right? So what happened? Well, number one, I'm going to own this, which is I was running probably about 5-10 minutes a little bit later. I'm like, I kind of got to fix my hair a bit, throwing a hat on, but did a few extra things. And then I was a little bit later, but my husband kind of knew the routine. So he was like, so Tyson's eating food. That's fine. Tyson has so much iPad time each day. He already had his allotment in the morning. And then the routine now is, which we've done lots of different things, but not consistent. But now it's like, we're consistent. Because again, sidebar to this is like, what does structure and routine give us? Well, it gives us consistency. Right? It gives us we kind of know where things are done. It's not like one day we do it this way do it the next. Like, it's all over the place, right? There's a lot of chaos that happens when you don't have some kind of routine or structure in place, right? If you say went to bed at like 2 a.m. one night and 9 p.m. the next night and then 11 o'clock the next, like it's just your body's all over the place, right? If you create a regular time that you go to bed or around the regular time that you wake up, your body gets used to that. It's not such a, you can't fall asleep at night or you have a hard time getting yourself out of bed in the morning, right? Because you've created that and your body has that rhythm built in place. So Tyson knows this. His iPad time was up, but and that's for him playing like iPad games. What Daddy didn't understand is that was all iPad, and he was like, well, Kai's watching Thomas, and Tyson didn't want it, so I let him start watching a show that he wanted to. And I was like, no, that wasn't the rules. So guess what happens? Rules have been bent. My husband it wasn't clear to him what that was. And so the rules were bent in Tyson's mind. So then when he was asked to put that down, now we're going to do Couche Ball, he's flat out refusing. He's creating a big stink. And with Tyson, he goes to high drama. Part of it is the dyslexia, his dyslexic brain, but part of it is that's just Tyson. He'll just like from one pendulum to the other. And he could be the most loving boy and then just be like, I hate you. And I don't take any of that shit personally. It's not allowing it to happen, him disrespecting me. I used to come from that place, and then I would just fight back and nothing. I never got what I wanted. So I'm like, you know what? He doesn't mean what he says that he does. He's looking for a reaction. So I'm choosing not to react. So here he is. He's going into his big kind of thing and saying nasty words. And then he slams the door. I'm not going. Okay, now it's like 8:25. We should be at the door. So not only if we're not doing our Couche Ball work to kind of help his nervous system to get integrated and started for the day. That's number one. That's kind of been shelved now. But number two, he's not even dressed. We're not even in the car, and he's refusing to even do that. So it's like 8:26, and I'm like, okay, I have a decision to make right now, right? And I'm not going to break the rules, but I need to understand that there's some flexibility in here. This routine and structure is like so necessary. I could easily go to the place of, I'm going to take stuff away. I'm going to, and we talked about consequences, and he already lost some iPad time, but I said, I go, buddy, here's a way to earn some back. There's a way that you can get what you want and mommy can get what she wants. What mommy wants is to get you out the door to school and for us to start the day in a good place. Not yelling and screaming, not mad, love. We leave each other, you go to school, mommy works, I pick up at the end of the day, and we continue that. I want it to be, we start the day good, right? And you want to be able to get iPad time back, and you want to be able to watch your show in the car for 10 minutes as we drive. I go, let's figure out a way to make this happen. And we figured out a deal. We negotiated. It wasn't like I'm going to fall back on things, because clearly what's happening is I need to be okay with, breaking the rules a little bit at this point. There's a time and a place, right? There can be a slippery slope. If I allowed this to happen the next day and I made it clear with Tyson, I said, buddy, just, iPad in the car, not going to be something that's happening every day at all. You can maybe earn it sometimes. Maybe it'll be a special thing. Maybe it'll be bonus time on the ride home or something. But it's not every day. It's like, I know, so he gets that, right? So there are times that you need to break the rules, and there are times which you should not be bending whatsoever. This was the time we had to create a new agreement. We had to break the rules a little bit, right? We had to create a new structure, new routine, because that's what was necessary in the moment. So we hashed out a new deal. We agreed on it. Suddenly, guess what? My son's moving. We're having fun. We're laughing. There's, I got what I wanted, which is to start the day with my boy on a happy note with love. And not have it be the last thing that he gets from me is like yelling and screaming, or he's mad and angry. And we've had those mornings before too. It's just not okay for me to have that anymore. Like, at all. At all. Now, it all kind of started from the breaking of the rules. So 2 things I want you to get with this, sister. Number 1 is when you do break the rules, there's going to be consequences, right? There's going to be an effect to you getting off a routine, off a structure. So some of you will say this to me, like, oh, like I was going through all stuff and then I stopped sending that text to my husband and then it became 2 days and it becomes this like you just fall right off the deep end, right? However, the second piece of this is I want you to really hear is this. There are times that you have to be flexible with the rules. It's not so black and white. This is your life. This is your children. This is your marriage. This is your work in your business. This is your body. There will be times that you will need to course correct and create some new rules or new agreements, or you might even find the rules just aren't working for you, right? You create something new. But you realize that the rules, whatever you want to call them, routine, structure, like the rhythms that you have in your day, will free you up. Like you can't even imagine unless you've actually had them in place. Now, do these rules take work to put in place? Absolutely. Do these rules take some effort and being like diligent about them? Absolutely. You know, I went to a place of anger for a split second with my husband. I'm like, you have no idea how hard I've worked. Because we've commented with him on, or about Tyson of like, man, he's just a different kid coming back from this program. And the structure we've put into place and the continued work that him and I are doing every single day with these different things to really help his dyslexia. Like, it's a huge shift in my son. Now, the work is not done. The work continues. But we're just like, man, what a difference in our home. There's it's yelling and screaming. It's coming from our 4-year-old right now. He's doing that 4-year-old thing. But even with Tyson, it's like, we're like, man, go, Tyson, it's nice and calm now. It's like, yeah, my man, I like this. I go, me too. So I went there with my husband for a moment. And you have no, and I was just like, wait a second. Then I stopped myself and I went, you know what? I'm not going to engage in this. Because then he went to the place of defensiveness. I just said, I'm not going there with you. I love you. I'm not going there with you. And I could tell that he was upset about it. And so before I got stuff cleaned up with Tyson, we get him dressed, he's put in his boots. I come over, I apologize to Ed. I said, I love you. This is the way I want to start our day. I know you didn't know that was part of the rules. Now you know, it's okay. I love you. And he said, I'm sorry too. We went on our day. Said goodbye and I love you to my youngest son. So here's your more tip for dating, sister. Where do you need to create some rules in your life? Like seriously, is it around something with your body and your health? Is it something, within your marriage, your business? Maybe it's with your kids, right? Like, where do you need to create some rules? And here's the second piece of this. With those rules, actually, this is not a second piece, but it's just an awareness I want you to have, sister. So that's your more tip. Where do you need to create some rules and write those down and journal them, right? And then put them into place. But here's something to really consider. Those rules may need to be course corrected. Those rules may need to be adapted. Those rules may need to be a time that you gotta call an audible in the middle of some chaos happening and create something new. So be okay with that. Rules and structure routine are there as again, to create that freedom, to take away a hell of a lot of stress, to know what's coming up in your day and not have stuff be so like all over the place. But just know they're not like, it's not Fort Knox. There'll be times that maybe you got to break the rules. Maybe you got to create some new ones, and that's okay if that happens. Continue on the path of creating these things based on what you truly want. So to get your journal, to journal those down, I'm going to send you one for free, sister. Head over to drkarenosborn.com/free journal, and you take care of a little bit of shipping. I do all the rest and some really cool Woman Wanting More extra cool gifts that I'm sending along with that. And make sure that you're on the Woman Wanting More newsletter to be part of the tribe, part of the community, VIP access to all new things Women Wanting More. I want you to head over right now to drkarenosborn.com, drkarenosborn.com. Enter in your email when you go into the website. And I will also send you my More For Action Guide, a PDF with a video training, which is going to really teach you how to start your day in power. It's what I teach my clients. It's how I start my day every single day. It is imperative that you are on that. So if you're not getting a newsletter from me every single day, This is why. So get on the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com. If you're in your listening on your phone or on the show notes, just click on the link that's right into the show notes, and you can sign up for the newsletter today. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.